2 spoons of this common powder can send garden pests running. Here's what most gardeners don't know. What if one of the most effective pest-fighting tools in your garden isn't a fancy spray, an expensive trap, or a chemical treatment costing hundreds of dollars every season? What if it's something sitting on a shelf that most people completely overlook? For years, gardeners have battled ants, roaches, slugs, and other destructive pests using stronger and stronger products, only to watch the bugs come back again and again. Meanwhile, experienced gardeners have quietly relied on a surprisingly simple mineral-based powder to help control some of the most stubborn invaders. But there's a catch. Most people use it incorrectly, and that mistake can damage plants, waste money, and leave them wondering why nothing worked. Today we're breaking down exactly how this old-school gardening trick works, where it works best, where you should never use it, and the surprising reason many gardeners say 2 small spoonfuls can make a huge difference. And make sure you stay until the end because I'll show you the biggest mistake that attracts pests back into your garden no matter what treatment you use. Every gardener knows the feeling. You walk into your garden one morning expecting to see healthy leaves, thriving vegetables, and strong growth. Instead, you find chewed foliage, damaged stems, and tiny invaders everywhere. The natural reaction is to search for the strongest solution available. But experienced gardeners often learn a different lesson. The most effective pest control strategy isn't necessarily about using more products. It's about understanding pest behavior and creating conditions that make your garden less attractive to them. One product that frequently appears in gardening discussions is borax. Borax has been used for generations in homes and gardens. While it isn't a magical cure-all, it can be useful when applied correctly and responsibly against certain pests. The key is understanding its limitations. Let's start by looking at why some gardeners swear by it. Why pests keep coming back. Before discussing any treatment, we need to answer a simple question. Why do pests return? The answer surprises many gardeners. Most pests aren't invading your garden by accident. They're responding to invitations. Standing water, excess moisture, decaying organic matter, overgrown weeds, and dense hiding places create ideal environments for insects and other unwanted visitors. Even the best treatment often fails if these conditions remain unchanged. Think of pest control like plugging a leak. If you only wipe up the water but never fix the source, the problem continues. Successful gardeners focus on both elimination and prevention. That's what separates short-term results from long-term success. How borax works. Borax is a naturally occurring mineral compound that has been used in various household applications for decades. When certain insects consume borax, it can interfere with their digestive systems and eventually reduce populations. This is why it is commonly included in bait formulas. Notice the important word there, bait. Many beginners scatter large amounts everywhere and expect instant results. That's not how it works. The goal is usually to encourage target pests to carry treated bait back to their colony or nesting area. Patience is critical. Results often take time because the process works gradually rather than instantly. The ant control strategy. One of the most common uses involves ants. Ant colonies can become massive, and simply killing visible workers rarely solves the problem. The queen and colony remain protected. Many gardeners create simple bait stations that combine attractive food sources with small amounts of borax. Worker ants carry the bait back to the colony. Over time, this may help reduce the population more effectively than surface sprays. The important thing is moderation. Using too much can make the bait unattractive, causing ants to avoid it entirely. That's one reason many gardeners fail. They assume more is better. In reality, balance matters. The slug and snail problem. Slugs and snails can destroy young plants almost overnight. They thrive in damp environments and often attack when gardeners aren't watching. While some gardeners experiment with various home remedies, the most successful approach usually combines habitat management with physical barriers. Reducing excess moisture, removing hiding spots, and improving airflow often provides better long-term results than relying on a single product. This highlights an important gardening principle. The healthiest gardens are often the least attractive to pests. The biggest mistake gardeners make. Here's the mistake I promised earlier. Many gardeners focus entirely on treatment while ignoring sanitation. Dead leaves, rotting fruit, unmanaged compost, overgrown weeds, these conditions create pest paradise. You could apply treatment after treatment and still struggle because the environment continues attracting new invaders. Professional growers understand this. Clean gardens experience fewer pest outbreaks. Simple maintenance often produces dramatic improvements. Building a natural defense system. Instead of relying on one solution, create layers of protection. Layer 1 is healthy soil. Strong plants naturally resist stress better.
Layer 2 is proper watering. Overwatering encourages many pest problems. Layer 3 is garden cleanliness. Remove debris regularly. Layer 4 is beneficial insects. Ladybugs, lacewings, and other predators help maintain balance. Layer 5 is targeted intervention when necessary. This layered approach creates resilience, and resilience is what every successful garden needs. The truth about miracle pest solutions. Every year, a new miracle solution appears online. One ingredient promises to eliminate every pest forever. Another claims instant results. But experienced gardeners know the truth. There is no universal cure. Different pests require different strategies. Different climates create different challenges. Different plants attract different insects. The gardeners who achieve consistent success focus on observation, prevention, and smart management rather than searching for magic shortcuts. Conclusion. If there's one lesson to remember, it's this. Successful pest control isn't about finding a miracle product. It's about understanding the ecosystem of your garden. Products like Borax may have specific uses when applied carefully and appropriately, but long-term success comes from healthy soil, proper maintenance, smart watering practices, and consistent observation. The gardeners with the healthiest harvests aren't necessarily the ones buying the most products. They're the ones paying the closest attention. So before your next pest battle, take a walk through your garden. Look for the conditions attracting pests in the first place. Fix those problems, combine prevention with targeted solutions, and you'll be amazed at how much easier gardening becomes. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which garden pest causes you the biggest headache every season.